In global surveys, chief executives voice one specific anxiety: the fear that they aren't moving fast enough to keep pace with technology and artificial intelligence. That pressure flows directly down to corporate communications. The speed at which public perception forms and brand reputations hardened has accelerated far beyond traditional media cycles. Yet, to navigate this rapid environment, leadership teams are often handed a tool built for a much slower media cycle: the quarterly communications report. A retrospective deck delivered every 3 months means the C-suite is trying to manage real-time risks using a historical record, leaving them reactive when a crisis takes shape. When a modern narrative breaks, it takes roughly 3 days to form. Meanwhile, traditional reporting runs a full 90 days. The difference is an unchecked window of exactly 87 days. This is the executive readiness gap. During those nearly 3 months, the narrative operates unchecked. By the time leadership is finally briefed, the story has already defined how investors, customers, and the media describe the company. The moment to influence it has passed. Eliminating those 87 days of exposure is the reason modern communications teams are migrating to real-time intelligence systems. Moving past counting raw mentions is first. Tallying isolated data creates noise. Modern systems cluster coverage into the themes driving the market, called share of narrative. If your industry has 20 active narratives and your brand drives 6, your share of narrative is 30%. This specific metric gives leadership a direct read on their competitive footing. It shows precisely where the brand is winning the conversation against rivals and where it is losing ground. Presenting a defined share of a specific story provides a chief executive with a clear compass for their next move, rather than a ledger of past attention. But tracking the media alone is no longer enough to map a company's reputation. The list of stakeholders reading that press coverage has expanded. Today, large language models continuously ingest global news and PR materials, synthesizing that information into confident answers for millions of users. Artificial intelligence is now an active participant in shaping brand perception. If an AI chatbot confidently repeats an outdated storyline, omits the brand entirely, or hallucinates a false claim, it creates a reputation risk that traditional monitoring cannot see. Modern executive intelligence integrates large language models directly into its tracking parameters, monitoring how algorithms describe the company with the same rigor used for a major news publication. Managing a brand's narrative in 2026 requires monitoring the AI systems that summarize it, providing the visibility needed to identify and address inaccuracies in the data they ingest. Equipping a team with real-time narrative data and AI perception insights changes the behavior inside the executive boardroom. Instead of arriving to defend a summary of last quarter's press clippings, a communications leader steps into the room to flag a story that is taking shape that exact week. The true value of this intelligence model is the ability to present a forming narrative alongside a clear recommendation to shape the outcome before it sets. This shift establishes the communications team as a strategic partner, providing the foresight required to help guide the company's direction. Leadership now expects real-time narrative reads, AI-aware perception tracking, and decision-ready clarity. Executing this level of complex data clustering across thousands of human and AI channels cannot be done manually by analysts. Closing the executive readiness gap requires purpose-built technology capable of digesting global media sets and LLM outputs instantaneously. Handraise is engineered precisely for this mandate, giving teams a dedicated platform to deliver real-time executive communications intelligence. Stop reporting the past and start engineering your reputation. Visit handraise.com and book a demo today.